Peterbilt versus autonomous trucks, 3 million drivers versus $300 billion. Who wins America's biggest battle? Full audio transcript. Something happened on April 8th, 2025 that every truck driver in America should know about, and most of them do not. On that day, a Peterbilt truck pulled out of a terminal in Dallas, Texas, merged onto Interstate 45 southbound toward Houston, and drove the entire route, 250 miles of American highway, without a single human hand on the wheel. No driver, no steering input, no one watching the road. A computer made every decision, every lane change, every merge, every braking input. The truck delivered its load and came back. And the company that made it happen, a Silicon Valley startup called Aurora Innovation, called it the beginning of the end of professional truck driving, as America has known it for a century. Aurora said the first of its regular driverless customer deliveries took place between Dallas and Houston. The company had been operating its trucks on this route with safety drivers for 4 years, delivering over 10,000 customer loads across 3 million autonomous miles. Peterbilt, 3 million miles. 0 accidents attributed to the system. Real freight, real highways, real commercial deliveries for Uber Freight and Hirschbach Motor Lines, not test runs, not demonstrations, but actual paying loads that customers needed moved. And here's the part that nobody in the mainstream trucking media is saying clearly enough. Aurora Innovation is working with PACCAR, which makes Peterbilt and Kenworth trucks, and Volvo Autonomous Solutions to build the autonomous system into their vehicles. World's best PACCAR, the company that builds every Peterbilt truck that has ever rolled off the line in Denton, Texas. The company behind the red oval badge and the bird ornament and 87 years of American trucking heritage. PACCAR is a partner in the autonomous truck program. The truck that Aurora used for those driverless runs on I-45 was a Peterbilt with no one driving it. So today, we answer the question that every driver needs to hear answered honestly. Is this the end? Is the most important career in American history 3.5 million drivers who move 72% of everything in this country? Is it actually being replaced? And what does it mean that the truck most associated with American driver pride and identity is the one being used to make the case that drivers are optional? Let us start with what Aurora has actually built, because hype and reality have been wildly different in the autonomous truck space for a decade, and we need to separate the two carefully. Aurora has 30 trucks in the fleet, 10 of which are operating fully driverless. That fleet is expected to grow to more than 200 trucks by the end of the year. Aurora's trucks have racked up 250,000 driverless miles as of January 2026 with a perfect safety record. Kenworth, 250,000 driverless miles on public American highways, carrying real commercial freight with 0 system-attributed collisions. Aurora is the undisputed leader in autonomous long-haul trucking. The company launched commercial driverless freight in April 2025 and has tripled its route network to 10 lanes across the Sun Belt by February 2026. The 1,000-mile Fort Worth to Phoenix corridor completed in approximately 15 hours versus 2+ days for a human driver under hours of service rules demonstrates the economic case for autonomy. The fast lane truck, 15 hours versus 2 days. That is the number that fleet managers are staring at right now. A human driver bound by federal hours of service regulations that cap driving at 11 hours per day takes 2 days minimum to move a load from Fort Worth to Phoenix. A driverless Aurora truck does it in 15 hours straight. No mandatory rest, no logbook, number 34-hour reset, no call-in sick, no workers' compensation claim, no insurance premium tied to a driver's record. 15 hours, every single time. Aurora's partners include FedEx, Uber Freight, Werner, Schneider, Hirschbach, Volvo, and PACCAR. The fast lane truck FedEx, Werner, Schneider. These are not experimental startups betting on technology. These are the largest and most established freight operators in North America making real commercial commitments to autonomous truck capacity. When FedEx partners with an autonomous truck company, it is not doing it for a press release. It is doing it because the financial case is real, and the operational case is real, and the timeline is real. Now let us talk about the financial case, because this is the argument that keeps fleet managers awake at night and that drivers need to understand clearly. The transition to autonomous platforms is estimated to generate $9.4 billion in annual safety benefits by 2035, preventing approximately 490 fatalities and 23,000 crashes per year. Walwork trucks $9.4 billion in annual safety benefits. And here is what that number means in practical terms for the fleet economics conversation. The median nuclear verdict in American trucking, the lawsuit payout when a crash case goes to a jury, is now $51 million. The primary driver of that liability is human error, fatigue, distraction. A driver who pushed through the hours of service limit because dispatch pressured them. A driver who missed a braking cue because they had been behind the wheel for 10 hours and their reaction time degraded without them knowing it. An autonomous truck does not get tired. It does not get distracted. It does not feel pressure from dispatch to run an extra 2 hours. Its reaction time at hour 15 of operation is identical to its reaction time at hour 1. And its LiDAR sensors can detect objects at 400 meters, more than 4 footballs. Fields giving it more time to react than any human driver at any level of alertness. For a fleet insurer pricing commercial auto liability coverage in the nuclear verdict era, an autonomous truck with a documented perfect safety record across 250,000 miles is a categorically different risk profile than a human driver. And as that documentation grows to 2.5 million miles and 25 million miles, the insurance math for autonomous trucks is going to increasingly separate from the insurance math for human-driven trucks in ways that compound dramatically. Aurora currently operates driverless routes through Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, and has future driverless operations planned for Nevada, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Walwork trucks 14 states. That is Aurora's 2026 expansion plan. By the end of this year, Aurora will have driverless commercial freight operations across the entire southern United States from the Pacific coast to the Atlantic, and it will not be alone. Kodiak AI is preparing to initiate fully driverless long-haul freight operations by the end of 2026. The company currently operates 20 driverless trucks for Atlas Energy Solutions in the Permian Basin. Walwork Trucks Now, let us talk about what this means for the 3.5 million truck drivers in America. Because this is the part where the conversation stops being about technology and starts being about people. In 2023, 3.05 million people worked as truck drivers in the US, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Aurora said the current trucking industry has an aging driver population with high turnover rates, demonstrating the need for autonomous vehicles. Peterbilt the aging driver population. High turnover rates. This is how Aurora frames its product to the world, not as a replacement for drivers, but as a solution to the industry's inability to recruit and retain enough drivers to meet freight demand. And there is genuine truth in that framing. The trucking industry has 80,000 empty seats right now. The driver shortage is real, even if its causes are debated. And if autonomous trucks can fill some of those empty seats on the specific routes, long flat highway corridors in the Sunbelt where the technology works best, that argument has genuine merit. But here is what that argument glosses over. Those long flat Sunbelt highway corridors, Dallas to Houston, Fort Worth to El Paso, Fort Worth to Phoenix, are not just any routes. They are the most profitable, most consistent, most desirable long-haul routes in American trucking. They are the routes where experienced owner-operators build reliable income, where fleets deploy their most productive assets, where the best loads and the best rates congregate because the demand is predictable and the lanes are high volume. If driverless trucks can only operate on highly controlled corridors, their economic impact could be real, but contained a kind of robotic relay race between human-driven hubs. Diesel repair a robotic relay race between human-driven hubs. That phrase is the most honest description of what autonomous trucking looks like in 2026. The driverless trucks run the middle, the long highway miles between major logistics hubs. Human drivers run the first mile from the shipper and the last mile to the receiver. Human drivers handle the urban environments, the loading docks, the bad weather routes, the complex situations that the autonomous systems cannot yet navigate reliably. In theory, that model creates a collaboration between human and autonomous trucking rather than a replacement. In practice, the economics of that collaboration favor the autonomous component over time as technology improves and route coverage expands. The human role in the relay race gets shorter. The autonomous role gets longer. And the drivers who previously ran the full distance find themselves competing for a shrinking share of the total freight miles. One veteran driver with 20 years of experience shared how he handles situations that would stump even the most advanced AI, like negotiating with uncooperative dock workers or finding alternate routes during severe weather. World's best, that veteran driver is right. 20 years of road wisdom, the ability to read another driver's behavior 3 cars ahead, the knowledge of which alternate routes, avoid the weight restrictions, the communication skills that get a difficult dock worker to cooperate, none of that exists in a computer. Not today. Not in 2026. And possibly not for a very long time, because some of what experienced drivers do is not algorithmic. It is human judgment in situations that no dataset has ever fully captured. But here is the uncomfortable truth that veteran drivers deserve to hear honestly. The autonomous trucks are not being deployed on the routes that require 20 years of road wisdom. They are being deployed on the straight, predictable, well-mapped highway corridors where road wisdom matters least and endurance and consistency matter most. Aurora is not trying to replace the 20-year veteran navigating a blizzard through the Rockies to a remote distribution center. It is trying to replace the experienced driver running I-45 for the 400th time, because I-45 is 400 miles of straight Texas highway where the most important skill is staying awake. Now, let us talk about Peterbilt specifically, because this video exists because of what PACCAR is doing and what it means. PACCAR is the parent company of Peterbilt and Kenworth. It builds approximately 30,000 Peterbilt trucks per year. It employs thousands of American workers in its manufacturing facilities, and it is an active partner in the Aurora Autonomous Truck Program, which means the very trucks that are replacing human drivers on Texas highways are Peterbilts, not competing brand trucks. Peterbilts. Aurora's fully autonomous fleet continued operating without human intervention, logging real-world miles and hauling revenue-generating freight on Texas highways. Aurora's driverless operations that use PACCAR trucks currently have a human safety observer in the cab as requested by the truck manufacturer. World's best as requested by the truck manufacturer. PACCAR asked Aurora to keep a human observer in the cab during the initial commercial deployment of the autonomous Peterbilt trucks. That request is both reassuring and revealing. Reassuring because it shows PACCAR taking a measured, safety-first approach to deploying this technology under its brand name. Revealing because it shows PACCAR is deeply embedded in the autonomous truck program, not as a passive vehicle supplier, but as an active participant in how the technology is deployed. PACCAR is not fighting autonomous trucking, it is participating in it. Because PACCAR understands something that the broader conversation about driver replacement often misses. The truck manufacturer does not lose when autonomous trucks replace human drivers. The truck manufacturer sells the same truck either way. Whether a human driver is in the seat or a computer is making the decisions, PACCAR still builds and sells the Peterbilt. The truck still needs to be maintained. The PACCAR parts still need to be purchased. The PACCAR dealer still handles the service. From PACCAR perspective, autonomous trucking does not reduce demand for Peterbilts. It potentially increases it as fleets scale up autonomous capacity. The people who lose when autonomous trucks take the profitable Sunbelt corridors are not the truck manufacturers. They are the drivers. Now, let us talk about the timeline, because this is where the autonomous truck conversation has been consistently misleading for a decade and where honest analysis is most needed. The 2016 predictions that driverless trucks would soon replace human drivers overshot. More Americans are employed as truckers today than a decade ago. Diesel repair, the predictions from 2016 were wrong. Every technology analyst who said truck driving would be obsolete by 2021 or 2022 or 2023 was wrong. The human drivers are still there. The numbers have not collapsed. And the technology that was supposed to make them obsolete has spent those years slowly, methodically, expensively building the foundation for what is only now becoming commercially real. Just as the last 2 years brought robotaxis into the mainstream, we expect 2026 to mark the inflection point where the market bit Dodd recognizes that self-driving trucks have arrived and are quickly becoming a permanent fixture in our transportation landscape. Kenworth, that is Aurora's CEO, speaking directly, not forecasting, declaring. He is saying 2026 is the inflection point, not the replacement of all drivers, not the end of trucking as a career, but the moment when autonomous freight transitions from experimental to permanent. The moment when it stops being a question of whether it will happen and starts being a question of how fast and how far it spreads. Level 3 and 4 autonomy, where the truck can handle full driving duties under certain conditions, is expected to enter broader deployment by 2027 and 2028. Peterbilt 2027 and 2028. That is not a distant future. That is not a science fiction timeline. That is the next presidential term, the next truck purchasing cycle, the period during which most of the drivers watching this video will still be in their working years. And here is the honest assessment of what that timeline means for different drivers. For a driver who is 55 years old and planning to retire in 10 years, the autonomous truck transition will not significantly affect their career. The technology will expand, but it will not reach full coverage of all routes and all conditions within their working window. For a driver who is 30 years old and planning to run for another 25 to 30 years, this transition is the most important career development of their professional life, not because it will eliminate their career, but because it will change the nature of it in ways they need to understand and prepare for now, rather than in 10 years when the preparation window has closed. So what is the honest verdict? Who wins this battle? The Peterbilt, the 87-year-old symbol of American trucking identity, or the autonomous truck that is running on Peterbilt chassis right now on Texas highways without anyone behind the wheel? The answer is both, and neither. And here is what I mean by that. The Peterbilt wins because the truck is not the issue. Autonomous trucks are being built on Peterbilt chassis. The brand survives the technology transition. The red oval badge will be on autonomous trucks the same way it is on electric trucks and diesel trucks. Peterbilt is not threatened by autonomy. It is participating in it. The driver wins in the near term in the next 5 to 7 years because the technology works on specific corridors in specific conditions and has not yet solved the complexity of the full trucking operation. The dock worker who does not cooperate, the weather route that is not mapped, the shipper who needs judgment calls that no algorithm has been trained to make. Human drivers retain all of those situations. The autonomous truck wins in the long term in the 2030s and 2040s on the specific routes where the economics and the safety case are already proven. The Sunbelt corridors, the predictable high-volume lanes, the freight that needs endurance and consistency more than wisdom and judgment. Broader adoption will take years as regulatory, insurance, and workforce adjustments catch up. Diesel repair years, not months. The regulatory environment, the insurance market, the public trust question, and the sheer logistics of scaling from 30 autonomous trucks to 300,000, all of that takes years. And during those years, the drivers who understand what is coming and who position themselves in the segments of trucking that autonomous technology cannot serve, the complex, the urban, the specialized, the relationship-dependent, those drivers will be fine. The drivers who will struggle are the ones who assume this is not real, who looked at the 2016 predictions and concluded that autonomous trucks are permanently stuck in the future, who are running the same Sunbelt corridors in 2030 and discovering that the loads have moved to machines and the rates for human drivers on those lanes have been crushed by autonomous competition. Computers do not work all the time. You know, there is no technology that is 100% proven to work all of the time every single day. And as a human driver, he thinks he is better at noticing what other human drivers are doing and reacting accordingly. World's best that California driver is right. He is also driving in California, where Aurora does not currently operate, where the routes are more complex, where the regulations are more demanding, where the human advantage is most durable. He is right about what human drivers do better. And the smartest thing any driver can do right now is make sure the work they do is work that keeps them right. The Peterbilt and the autonomous truck are not enemies. They are two chapters of the same story. The same story that started in 1939 in a California logging operation, and that is still being written today on the highways of Texas. One chapter is 87 years old and still going. The other chapter started on April 8th, 2025. Both are real. Both matter. And the drivers who understand both chapters are the ones who will write the next one.